So I totally kneed myself in the cheekbone while doing that somersault. So that's awkward. Anyway, welcome back. I'm so excited to have you. I did my little happy dance because I was that excited to make this video. This week we are talking about conquering bad weeks, as you saw in the title. This past week has been very rough. Unfortunately, my dad had to go into an emergency triple bypass open heart surgery. Yeah, that was not a good start to my week. I found that out Tuesday in one of my classes, and then later that day found out some financial news that was beneficial but was not what I was expecting, and that was, super challenging to hear, just mostly in that day because I was already so compromised in emotion because of my dad having to have his chest cracked open and his heart worked on. He's, if you're wondering, doing a lot better now. He actually had to have that surgery Thursday, and there were some complications along the way, and there's still some concern, but he's doing a lot better. He's conscious and aware as of, I think, yesterday, which is a big step up from where he was at over the weekend. Anyway, last week just kind of progressed in getting worse. Wednesday, my tooth kind of just crumbled out of my mouth. It just broke. I was eating some Juanita's chips, which if you have not tried, try. Wait, let me show you the bag. Hold on, give me 2 seconds. These guys, so good. But if you're almost ready to lose a tooth, not good. Don't do it. Tooth thing was my fault. I should have taken care of that a while ago. Should have expected it was going to fall out. Anyway, week was rough. But I had so many people on my side, and it was actually a really good experience for a bad week. I had a lot of peace in my bad week, but things were hectic and kind of out of my control. So this week we're kind of just talking about living life well in the context of conquering bad weeks. We all have bad weeks. We all have bad days, bad months, bad seasons. And there are things that we can do to not fix them, but we can make ourselves more comfortable in them. And I think that's part of living life well, is knowing what you can and can't do. And sometimes I understand that we aren't always aware of the things that we can change and the things that we can't. But if we are, that makes life a lot easier. So I just kind of wanted to talk about things that really helped me through last week and are still helping me through this week as things are kind of calming down, not so much in the heat of the discomfort, but still existing. And a big thing for me, as we talked about last week, was relationships. And I had to exercise it this past week, which was hard because I really just wanted to be nope, nobody needs to know what's going on. It's not a big deal, or it is a big deal, but if people know, it's going to be even a bigger deal. And that was actually the opposite case. It felt less of a big deal, or less of a big deal, because people knew, because people were checking in on me, and because I didn't have to carry the burden of having stress about my dad and my tooth and financial issues on my own. I had people to help carry that burden with me. So it was just a huge thing, and especially letting my teachers know what was going on was a big plus. I did not expect that they were going to give me the amount of grace that they did, especially when it came to assignments being in late, and there were many of them. There still are many of them. Sorry if you're watching this. I'll do it. I promise. It'll get done this week. But yeah, they gave me a crazy amount of grace and space that I just needed to take care of myself and the things around me. And I'm totally going to look at my hand every 2 minutes because here's my list of things, because I have tried making this video 9 times now and I keep forgetting. Brain fart alert. Sorry, I said the fart word. It's going to happen. I think farts are funny. Anyway, another thing is controlling your environment. And I do want to emphasize that I do not mean taking control of your environment or making your environment what you want it to be when you want it to be, but I guess taking ownership of where you're at. So for me, having a clean apartment, especially in hectic weeks, is so vital to my functioning normal, which I'll often call healthy if you need clarification for that. When I say I'm healthy, I mean I'm functioning in a way that's best for me, in a way that promotes healthy thinking, healthy eating, healthy living, healthy relationship. Health is a very holistic thing in my mind. So when I say healthy, that's what I mean. But having an environment where things function correctly and kind of just are available and I know where things are at and I know things are clean, really helps me in bad weeks. It's one less thing I have to think of. And in that too, I like to meal prep sometimes. It's a new thing I'm getting into. So 2 days ago, I made dinner for the next couple days. And I think actually tonight is my last night of made meals. But knowing that I have a meal made and all I have to do is pop it in the microwave and it's good, and really good, guys. I'm gonna brag, my cooking kind of rocks. We'll get into that at some point. But knowing that I have a good meal to eat that's also good for me and I don't have to like think about it, it's just done, is a great thing for me. It's one less thing off my list of things to do, and it's just less stress that I have. Another thing for me is working out. I know that's not everybody's favorite thing, but I personally love it. Sometimes I am not consistent in it, but generally I try to do it a few times a week, and I find that especially when things are crazy and out of my control, you know, things like my dad having to have surgery and my tooth falling out and financial stuff that I can't do much about. Not always, sometimes I can, but this time I can't. Working out kind of just helps relieve stress and gives me like the endorphins that I need and, you know, all that stuff, all that healthy brain release, fun, exciting, you know, chemicals that make you feel good. I like those. So working out is a good way to get to those and a way that's healthy for your body. And I think another huge thing for me is understanding what I do have, and being thankful for that, being thankful for experiences I've had, being thankful for opportunities that I'm currently experiencing or have or are going to get to experience. Just gratitude in general, just being really thankful and aware of the things that are so good in my life. Kind of makes my world bigger and it pulls perspective off the bad thing and puts it on a more like broad world view, I guess. I don't know if I'm explaining that in a way that makes sense, but basically it's like my vision goes from this to like this. So like when I'm only thinking about my dad's heart attack stuff, this is what I see. When I'm thinking about how grateful I am for my job, how grateful I am for my family, the fact that I have a family, the fact that I have a dad and that he has doctors, like my worldview and my perspective on what is good broadens. It broadens immensely. And last, I would say self-care is a really key thing. And I know that it's probably spit at you all the time, and if it's not, it should be because it's important. Self-care is a necessary life skill to have. It is a skill. It is learned. It is not natural. You have to think about doing it. Self-care is not easy. It is not easy at times. Sometimes you just want to sit and sulk and not think about life. But there are things that we can do to help us engage life in a way that's super good for us and comfortable sometimes, not always. But self-care usually does promote some sort of comfort, some sort of feel-good thing that helps gets us out of this stuck and gross place to like a happy, peaceful, understanding place. Yeah, self-care kind of just rocks. If you don't know anything about self-care, if you don't know how to self-care, if you want to learn ways into self-care, seriously, Pinterest. Pinterest is great. It sounds so cheesy, but I will look up self-care things on Pinterest and like learn things all the time that I can do, and I actually utilize them. Super fun to like make a list of things, tear them off, put them in a jar, and like make a cute jar that says like self-care jar. You pull something out and you're like, oh, I guess I'm going to do this today. If you hate it and that's not what's beneficial, put it back in, you need to pick a new one. You have control over that. It's your own jar. Do what you want with it. But yeah, these are all really key things to conquering bad weeks for me, maybe not for you. If you have things that work for you, please comment, share them with me. I'd love to find, I'd love to discover more things, and I'd love if you'd share it with other people too. But yeah, those definitely helped me through last week. Yeah, and this week's already so much better. I'm coming into this week with a more clear mind, and kind of just an excitement for the week, anticipating that it's not going to be a series of bad events like last week. And I think that's another good thing too, is like not expecting more bad things to happen. Last week I kind of was just like sitting in the moment, and as these bad things were happening, I wasn't thinking like, oh, what's next? I was just like, oh, great, another thing. But I think that's okay. I think it's okay to understand that that's a lot. And like I said, this week's already better. It's Monday, which is debatable as to whether that makes... No, Monday's irrelevant. I'm going to just ignore the argument of Monday. I'm blessed to be alive. I'm blessed to be at school on a Monday, waking up early because you know, like life's a good thing. Mondays, guys, I'm fighting so hard right now not to bash on Mondays, but I'm not gonna. I am gonna be grateful for Mondays. I'm gonna go into this week and be joyful, and things are gonna be great, and if they aren't, I will do all the things listed that you cannot see on my hand to make it a little easier. So, thank you for joining me again. Not that you have a choice. For those of you who have to watch this video, which now that I'm saying this, is only my teacher. So, for everybody else that does have a choice, thank you for joining me. That was really awkward. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go now. See you next week. Gotta turn it off.